Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team. I'm working on a video here today. We're going to show you a race from June 23rd at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're not going to show you the whole race today. Instead, we're going to focus on a couple items that are common rookie mistakes. And we're going to talk a little bit about those mistakes. And then toward the end of the race, we'll skip forward about 14 laps or so, and I'll show you a technique using a side draft to try to get around cars at Charlotte toward the end of the race when it really matters. But we'll start out here with a couple of notes. One, I'm driving the Area 51 Alienware sponsored car today rather than the typical Johnson Racing 00. That might look unusual to you. And the second is you're going to see a lot of lag in the early part of this video. My internet connection was pretty terrible. So the cars are going to flicker in and out, and that's because my internet connection was awful. So let's jump into the race here. To start, we'll pick a slightly different camera angle. That's me in the black and green Alienware car. At this point in time, I was early in my iRacing career. I had a net rating of about 980. The average rating in this race was about 975, so I was pretty close to the average in terms of the iRating. And as you see, everybody's disappeared here. That's because I'm pretty much lagging completely out here. Now the race is starting, and I don't know what's going on. So right off the gate, there's going to be a big wreck here involving car number 1. So I'm going to jump to car 1, and then we're going to show you what happens right out of the gate. Everybody lags out. I can't see them. When they come back in, there's a big wreck here that involves the 9 moving up because of the 10, and all of a sudden there's a crash. Now, the problem for me is it happens right in front of me, and at Charlotte, you have 3,400-pound cars going 120 miles an hour with little narrow tires and very little in the way of braking. So you're going to see here in kind of slow motion, the one car is backing up, the wreck's all in front of me, track is essentially totally blocked. I'm on the binders here pretty hard. I'm going to lock the front wheels up, and I'm going to go ahead and crack the one car pretty solidly in the front clip, and that does enough damage to my car that I really have trouble the rest of the race. At least I wasn't this guy, this poor dude in car number 5. He's really going to take a ride. And that creates quite a bit of trouble. Now, that was a big wreck, so let's back up. And let's come back here, and we're going to see what I think of as a double crash. And we're going to see it right here. So if we watch car number 11, car number 18, this is where the rookie mistakes really come in. So we've got 11, 5, 18, and 7 racing really hard here together. 14's on the outside. He's gone 3 wide. Everybody's diving into the corner a million miles an hour. It's the first lap at Charlotte, and one of the things that rookies need to learn, and hopefully not learn the hard way, is that you can't race 3 deep in turn 1 successfully very often, and you don't need to, because at Charlotte you've got the draft, and the draft is going to keep you in the running. Let that guy go. If that driver is ahead of you, let him or her go ahead. Let him go. Get in line, get the draft going, and you'll be able to move forward. This isn't going to help us. So car number 11 is going to drive under the blue line. That's no-no number 1. You get 2 wheels under the blue line, your car almost always loosens up, and you end up drifting right back up the track. At the same time, 5 is going to go down the track because he or she doesn't see 11 anymore out of their peripheral vision because 11's so far down. 5 kind of thinks they've got the low groove to themselves. Not to be outdone, the monster car up here, car number 7, is also going to come down and get into the 18 car, and what we're going to have then is synchronized spinning. All right, that's what I've chosen to call it, and it's all going to happen right in front of me. Now we're going to keep our eye on car number 5 again because 5 takes the most spectacular ride of all. So let's watch this. Now you see the mistake there by 11. He's got 2 wheels under the line. You can also see 7 coming down. 5 has come down as well. Now he starts to get loose. 11 comes up the racetrack. 7 comes down and gets loose. And we have our synchronized spinning. Now 5 takes a tremendous ride here. We're going to try to get inside with car number 5 so you can kind of see what's going on from his point of view. And then we'll come back out and see what's happening here with 5 in slow-mo. And I'm going to go ahead and speed that back up so you can see it in real time. And you're going to see my car come through here right at the end, all this happening in front of me yet again. There I go. But I managed to make it through this time without a tremendous amount of damage. Now, there are a lot of beat-up race cars. And what that means is if your car is less beat up than everybody else's, you're going to be able to run close to the front. And my car is not going to run great laps now. Typically, early in the race, you should be running 36.5 or 36.950 to about 36.990 on those first 2 or 3 laps. And I was running about 37.10 here. So I was off a couple of tenths, but I was still in a lot better shape than a lot of other drivers. The rest of the race was pretty uneventful for me, so I'm going to skip through that, and we're going to jump right on up to lap 17. Because by lap 17, I caught up with car number 11. And as I followed car number 11 around, one of the things that I realized was that he was a pretty stable driver. I could run close to him. He did slip up a little bit, but if I had a little drafting help, I was just a little bit faster than he was. So I started to look for different places on the racetrack where I could get a run on. Use the draft, try to be as stable as you can. In the corners, don't bump draft. It's one of the first things that I learned the hard way. You don't bump draft somebody in the corner. I saw the car up ahead, there's a lap car. I thought maybe I could pull some draft there, but I couldn't. You see, Charlotte for street stocks and iRacing is a lot like Talladega is for trucks in NASCAR. You run in the draft, you're on the bottom line, you don't have enough horsepower to slingshot around somebody on the outside, so your hope is to be able to have that person slide up so you can get your nose to beat. This guy was good. This driver was good. I don't remember what his name was. He was a really good driver. And I just never had the chance to get under him, so I started looking for ways to go around him on the outside. Now, here we're on lap 19. We're coming into turn 3. I had a good run down the back straightaway. What I was looking for was a way to be ahead at the flag, because I know I can't pull the pass off, so I let the car drift up into the corner. I use the banking to get a run. I pull a little draft, and then I pull to the outside, but I just don't quite have enough car to get it done. When we get to the start-finish line, I'm half a car length behind, so he's got me by a car and a half, bumper to bumper. But I learned a little something from that. And I got to thinking about how side drafting works. You're not a NASCAR fan, you may not know about side drafting, but side drafting doesn't pull you forward as much as the turn does. It causes the inside car to slow down. So I got that run down the back straightaway again, and this time, instead of going way up the track to try to get a side draft, I stayed next to the driver below. And as we got into the corner, I inched closer and closer and closer to his car so that the turbulence would slow him down. When we came out of 4 and got into the tri-oval, I had a run. I made a mistake here. I let the car drift up the track a little too high, and that let him get a better run on me toward the flag stand than he probably should have. And so this race ended up being a little bit closer than it probably should have been. But I managed to slingshot him and pull him at the line by about 6 inches, by a nose. That was worth 1 position. It was 5th place rather than 6th. In the grand scheme of things, it's not going to make a huge difference, but it's really good practice. And later in my iRacing career, I used this same strategy to win a race at Charlotte. Pull down close, let the side draft slow the other driver down as you come out of 4, and then make that run into the tri-oval, and hopefully you've got enough of a run to be able to pass at the end. It was really close. We can take another look at it from a slightly different angle here. This is from a different camera angle. We can back this up just a little. And then show you the end in slow motion again. It looks like he's going to beat me, and from this angle it looks like he's ahead, but if you watch carefully you can see that I've got just enough to get him at the line. That's our video this week in a nutshell, a little bit shorter than normal, about 10 weeks. If you like what you're seeing, please give us a like and a follow, and hopefully we'll see you more often on the Johnson iRacing Network.